All right, legends, a little preview on the next 3 rounds. As always, these are 3 super important rounds. I do think the round 14 will be the hardest, followed by round 19. And the round 19 one, as I've been saying, is more to do with the trades available that a lot of teams are going to be having. I think many teams will go into round 19 with no trades available and maybe playing with like 10, 9, these types of numbers there before they get those extra trades in 20. And then round 14, there's just a lot of really relevant teams and players on the buy currently here. So let's focus on round 14. And obviously you do want to try and get as good of a team on the park for this round. But if you're sitting there under 10 trades at the moment or around that 10 mark, which a lot of people are, I do think it might be a week where you can't go as hard as you may have wanted to. You got to look further ahead as well. So maybe it is 16 this week, or it is 15 that you get through, and maybe it's a holding ranks week, and hopefully if you're in the situation where it is 15, that it is sort of 15 really solid players, and maybe a couple of your cheapies are out or you're on a buy or something like that, and you're not sitting there rolling out 15 with Sam Hughes and some cheaper guys like that for sure. So there's a few ways to go about it, and make sure that you've got the quality if you are going less than 17. If you are able to get 17 using a few trades there, try not to go too low, because we know that even next week with a bunch of Bulldogs being out, it could be a little bit hard to go along with the round 16 really important teams on a buy, especially if you've purchased a bunch of those guys that played 13, 14, 15. Most likely they're going to be missing round 16 there. So you'll have a bunch of those guys that are missing in that week, and that can cause trouble for you. And onwards from there, obviously this week there could be a lot of people buying guys that missed round 17. You're looking at guys from the Titans, from the Bunnies, and the Eagles that are becoming a little bit more relevant now, which is something to think of as well. And then into round 19 as well. But let's focus on round 14 from here. And then I do want to jump through and have a look at some of the top 100 teams. We can go. They've got them all listed out like that, and just have a look at their trades remaining and where they're at from there. So let's kick it off with the Tigers, and they're obviously a very, very important side this week now the round 13's out of the way. I think they've got a nicer schedule here with Dragons away, into Titans and Raiders at home. I think they can be in a bunch of these games, and whether you're a forward or an outside back, I think it'll be okay to be able to be picked there. For outside backs from Tigers, I'm not super excited about them. Similar to that with the Titans, there's no one really standing out. Obviously a Keanu Keeney or something like that, but for him, we know he's had sort of some lighter games out the back there. He's goal kicking at the moment, but they will be getting a few players back in the near future. And I do think that if Brimson was to come back in sort of either that round 16 or round 18 there, it's only sort of a 3-week play for someone like Keeney. So for the Tigers and Titans, the outside backs I'm not super excited about. But the forwards, on the other hand, you've got Fafita from the Titans and Beaufort Moore. Both of those edges in a really good spot there, with Fafita being the best available captain, in my opinion, in the game for this week as well. That's something to note as well, especially with other great captains are going to be backing up from Origin. If you're looking at Isaiah Yeo and Payne Haas and these types of players there. For the Tigers, you've got guys like Twali to look at. You've got Samuel Fainu there, potentially a Seyfarth and these types of players, although I wouldn't have him as high on the list just because the spot in the side, longer term, probably not an incredible one to have. So they're the 2 interesting teams there. Tigers have 1 more bye remaining, same to that with the Titans there. For the Dolphins, they have a bye this week in round 14, so keep an eye on that. But obviously, following this, they have no more byes in important bye weeks. Round 18 is their next one available, and then they are done for the year, so keep that in mind. I would be trying to hold as many of your Dolphins players as possible. Fuller might be the only exception, given he doesn't play in each of the other weeks, like round 15 there, potentially a 17, and obviously a 20. Those couple of weeks can really hurt your side heading into this week. For the Storm, you've got the Knights there, the Warriors, and the Dolphins over the next 3 weeks, and it's a pretty solid run. You got 1 game at home against the Knights, who got beat by 30 on the weekend. So Eli Katoa, someone that stands out at the moment there. I don't think he can buy Fa'alogo anymore, given you've got Pap likely to return in the next few weeks there. Could be around 15 or 16, so that's a hard one to purchase, but outside backs for them, not super exciting. And then forwards, it really is only like the Eli Katoas out there. I wouldn't be buying Shawnee Bloor at the moment either. But if you are holding a few of these guys at this stage, Blorey, Grant, Fa'alogo, they've got a pretty nice run coming up there as well. And anyone you do want to purchase, if there's someone I haven't mentioned, you got a clear runway all the way through till round 19, which is going to be really helpful there as well. For the Sharkies, they've got the Broncos into the Dolphins there before they're buying round 16. I just don't see us being able to purchase any of these Sharkies guys, given they miss 2 pretty important weeks in the next 8 there. Whatever that is, 3, 7 in the next 7 weeks. They miss 2 of the next 7. Obviously, Origin guys is pretty hard to hold as well. But if you do have a McInnes or something right now, I do think holding in through 14 and 15, and you can make that decision most likely in 16. But remember, with McInnes as well, he could also lose that Origin spot if he doesn't play outstanding. And they've got Connor Watson, I do think was ahead of him coming into this period there. For the Panthers, they're next up, and they're in a similar situation, but round 16 and 19. So if you haven't bought any of the Panthers guys yet, like a Sorensen, I think you can't select him now. And for the Panthers, not really, and many others I'd be excited to buy at this point. I'd be going for outside backs that have already missed a couple of their buys, and Panthers have only missed the one so far. Bunnies are on a few more people's lists, given they've had a couple of buys out of the way, and they're all done for the rest of the year now, apart from round 17. So Jack Whiten's on people's lips. Latrell Mitchell, if he doesn't, I think just watching Origin and seeing what happens with him, with the New South Wales team, if they play well, I doubt he makes it back into his side. But if there's some injuries, he could definitely come back and ruin a few plans. But he's definitely a risk I think could be worth taking for sure. In their forwards, it's a bit hit and miss at the moment. They do have Murray to return in around 15 or 16. I do think he goes straight off to Origin though. If he makes it back for round 15 clash, he'll come straight back in to the Origin arena in game 2, given how his importance on the team. So just be aware of either way, even if it is a couple of games missed, be aware of some of the forwards that you might be looking to target. When Murray returns, he'll get those big minutes again. For the Bulldogs, you might be looking at Preston right now, and that's probably the main guy I would suggest to still potentially purchase, but they do miss 2 games in the next 7 as well, round 15 and that of round 19. So does that fit your numbers? Are you selling like a Hughes to Preston? If that's the way, like you're getting yourself out of multiple dogs, then that could be the way to do it. Outside of that, really not any dogs you want to target. For the Eels, this is a really contentious one for me, given the ability of what Hands can do, and I'm a little bit gun shy given I've had Lussick this whole time. But if you're buying Hands, are you actually using him as a player in round 16, or are you already covered in those positions in hooker or half? Because, what I need in my team is another hooker for round 16. But if I'm trading Lussick to Hands, that doesn't help the situation. So I do think you need to be in a really, really solid situation in round 16 to be able to cover that one. And if that's the case, then it might help you in around 19 if it gets to that stage as well. But he might also lose his spot. And if you're planning that far in advance for, around 14, it might help you. If you're planning that far in advance to round 19, he then has a buy in round 20, but he could be injured by that point. He could lose his spot by that point. And I guess, you're looking that far in advance. In that time, he's going to be able to make plenty of cash for you, which is the big win, and obviously get some decent points. And I'm not expecting 55 as an average long term. We've seen that he hasn't got an average that high when he plays big minutes, but we'll go through him this week. It's just an interesting one there. You could look at Moses, but to see if he plays well enough and Hines doesn't in Origin, then Moses comes in. We know that he's been picked ahead of Hines in certain situations as well. Bryce Cartwright's something to look at as well, but buying around 16 and 20 is a little bit of a tougher one to swallow, but obviously you have to look at your team and how it suits. And if you're sitting there with Jeremy Marshall-King with Hands, not a problem at all, is it? But my situation with a Grant or a Brayley, these types of guys, do I need another one of those? Do you need another half? Do you need a half for 16? Where Hands doesn't help that. But anyway, that's that. Raiders, they got the bye this week. Not a team to look at, but following that could be a nice little section of games before their round 19 bye. Dragons, the Dargans, Tigers into Seagulls, home and away there in that one. They've got the buy in 16 and 20. Again, personally, a team I don't see myself looking at buying, given they miss a couple of games through this next 8, where other teams don't, and there's no one really of relevance there outside of Lomax. With the Knights, they've got the Storm into Panthers. So middle forwards, I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. Obviously, more tackles. It just depends if they're a player that misses a bunch of tackles there for sure. Sorry, guys. And then they've got their bye in round 16, but they do only miss one of the next 8 there before they bye in round 21, which is going to be pretty easy to cover That's for sure, when most of our teams will be really, really strong with those extra trades and what we're able to do in that time. So that's the Knights. I think most of the guys are really, really good at holds, especially Elliott got bigger minutes last week. He might go down in minutes this week, so I wouldn't be buying anyone like him, even after his big score. Broncos have one more bye there in round 16 before round 24. They're being their next one. Sharkies into Rabbitohs, into the bye, into Warriors, Panthers. So probably not too many guys to purchase either. I think waiting until the end of the bye period to get anyone of Haas, Carrigan, or Walshy is the play. You could easily hold Piakura, and I think I will be, given he's actually fit, and hopefully the Origin camp helps him out with with his defense. That would be nice. The Seagulls come up next, and they've got their second bye of the year in round 17 as well. So Panthers away, but they aren't playing top-notch footy at the moment, but I do expect them to bounce back this week, and I'm a little bit worried about Garrick out there, but it looks like his base stats are still solid enough that he'll score fairly well. So I'll still be looking to purchase him this week, needing a wing fullback, most likely in my team. And if Armstrong's out, we're in a little bit of strife there too. But into Dragons, into Rabbitohs, to the bye, Cowboys, Knights, Titans. It's a really nice run for the Eagles, and that's something to note there. Hopefully Kohler is back for owners of him. Warriors, they've got the Cowboys into Storm at home, into the Titans away. So a pretty solid run there. Now they've got the 13 out of the way. It looks like Adam Fanua-Blake and Sean Johnson will return, and both of those guys are very, very good and strong players to look at in their positions. Jerome Hughes was the other one for the Storm I probably should have mentioned, along with Tyron Wishart is another strong purchase there. So I forgot the halves. I was looking to set the outside backs and the forwards there for the Storm. So with that run there of Knights, Warriors, and Dolphins, I do like the chances of Hughes and Wishart to do really well. As I said, for the Warriors, that's that. Roosters got a bye this week, but then have a really nice run in Eels, who are playing better now, but Dogs, Tigers, Dragons following that. So keep that in mind if you want to hold some of your Roosters. And then the Cowboys, they come up against the Warriors at home, into Raiders at home. So that's lovely to see for them. Into their bye, but then Panthers, Eagles into another bye. So at least hold them for another couple of weeks. Don't look at purchasing any of them, but that can be helpful there. Those players like Drinkwater in your side right now. All right, let's have a quick look at some of the top 100 teams. And Vorney's back, who is absolutely crushing it at the moment. But what we do have to note is the amount of trades that Vorney has used. Oh my goodness. So if you go, let's just go straight to my team just to make this a bit clearer for you. So I have 30, I've got 13 trades remaining. So he's used 32. I've used 23. So he's used 9 extra trades than my team there. And you can see that just for the use of trades there across those weeks. Round 12, just used 1. Round 13, I used 0. So I really slowed down, thank goodness, in that last few weeks. Whereas Vorney has used a lot. So hopefully, for his sake, his team is in a really good position there. He's traded well, I think, every week there. So yeah, doubles, triples, all the way through. And then 4 in the first week available. So he has max traded at this point. So 9 extra trades mean he's got 4 available coming into this week. And I really hope that he's able to stay clear at the top there. And you can see the amount of quality players that he's got in his side there in this one. But let's just have a quick look at where he's at there. And again, this isn't to rag on anyone, guys. I've never been in first position, so this is incredible. And hopefully he can stay up there. But we do know that trades are very, very important. We saw that last year. What could happen if you did save some trades. And maybe, he had to destroy and remove a lot of players from his side. You see he had Flegler in here and those types of players, and Chevy and AJ. Like, had a lot of guys that got injured. Adam Fanua-Blake with his issue there in that one as well. Cody Walker getting injured. There's a lot of things there, and Tohu Harris as well. So just to look at that playing out there, and just a bunch of the trades, there are a lot of guys that had injuries, that's for sure. But coming into this week, he has hopefully Kohler back. Let's just say he is. You've got Tarpany, who's out. A massive score from there. KO Weeks is going to be Gonskis with Strange. You got Plath, Aiken. Yeah, so 5 out at this point. And that's if everyone backs up and Armstrong's there and all those types of things. So he's 1 short at the moment. We'll at least have to make 1 trade, potentially an extra one, if things go a little bit south in team list today, which I think is going to be absolutely crazy, that's for sure. Moving on to the team in second, V Baldy. So they have used 5 more trades than me, which puts them at 8 at the moment. Yeah, and end up making 1. A lot of people made 4 last week, which is very, very incredible. Obviously, you had a great score as well. And that's the thing. You're getting good scores. You're moving up the ranks. You're allowed to have the odd bad week when you have moved up these type of rankings. We'll go through V-Baldies as well, and then we'll just have a quick look at the trade situation for the rest of the guys before we jump off this video and I get back out in the sun for our last day on holiday. Very excited to enjoy that. First day, it's actually been pretty sunny and no wind, which is cool. All right, heading into this week, we've got Terrell May out in this one. We've got Aiken out, Plath 3. Then we've got Manu 4, KO Weeks 5. Let's say Blaze Talangi is playing this week. Let's go with that. Yeah, so just 5 out, depending on that one. Do I say Weeks? Weeks, Manu, Plath, Aitken, Terrell May. Yeah, cool. So yeah, 5 out for that team there. That's V-Baldy. Gould Sombrero. Love that. 26 trades used, so down at 10. Available, not too bad on that front. We'll go one more on the numbers. So Max Plath is out, Aitken, KO Weeks, into Manu 4, a tray full of 5. Then we've got, that is all. Yeah, and then whoever backs up, well, Dylan Edwards likely to be out, I suppose. But yeah, very similar situation, most guys in. Bag season, 25 trades used, so that's down at 11 available. 11 available for the next team, Sandgate. Snackenhausen the same as me, 13 trades to go, which is in the best trade situation so far, along with French Bulldogs, 13 to go. 29 trades used, so down at 7 for Yo Haas on it. L's only 22, so the best trades so far with 14 available. Surely KFC vouchers at 26 used, 24. Tommy B's is 24 as well, in a pretty decent spot. Most of these guys there, 31 trades used for Phil Gould's chins. Love that. I see a lot of these guys right at the top have used a crap load of trades. Oh, Benji's Busters, here we go. 20 trades used, which means he's got 16 available. That's very, very impressive to be overall ranked 14. So I'm going to be having a good look at following Benji's Busters there. I think they're in a cracking position to do really well in this league. Let's go all the way to 20. Grazer's got 25, 30 for Rihanna's Boys. Sean Johnson OnlyFans, 26. Haven't caught a clue. That's pretty good, that one. 25 trades used, 23 for Sid Bennell. And the last one, TT's 26. All right, there you go. No one else is anywhere near that 20 mark. That's very, very impressive there. So I just wanted to just throw that out there. Actually, let's have a look. So 30, who do we say? Benji's Busters. So he used 20 trades. Let's have a look at how many outs this week. May have been a similar situation to myself, but he brought in DeBellant and Sorensen. Trade out Hughes last week, so it was very, very good. But, all right, what do we got? Outs this week are Strange, Aitken, KOX. Wow, he's in such a good position. Yeah, I'm very impressed, Benji's Busters. I'm expecting to see you at the top of the rankings with this many trades and not really having to make any trades this week before TLT issues and all that kind of stuff. So I'm super impressed, mate. Congratulations on your incredible season so far. And I do expect you to see you at the top of the leaderboard come the end of the season. And hopefully I can be somewhere near you in the top 100. Definitely won't be up near you at number 1. But yeah, very, very good effort so far. And good luck to everyone that I went through in that top 20. It's absolutely incredible to be in that position. I'm very proud of the efforts that you've gone through and yeah, the trades you've made to get you in this position, that starting team that you ended up with. So very, very cool. But I hope you guys, all of you watching, have plenty of luck over the next 24 hours, basically, well, to 36 hours with TLT. This afternoon is going to be very telling as to who might be backing up and all that kind of stuff into Origin tomorrow night. Wish you all the best of luck, guys, and we'll catch you in that TLT video this afternoon.